A very good morning to all of you, my dear students. This is Shafiq Ahmed, and you are all welcome to my, or not my, this is your favorite YouTube channel. Let's learn together. So we are on the way to complete this chapter, the French Revolution, and we are on the sixth tutorial. Previously, we discussed about the different political symbols that were used in the Constitution of France, which was written in the year completed in the year 1791. So let us move ahead. How the people of France abolishes monarchy means that is the kingship means abolishes the king. Now there would be no king, and it would become a republic country like India, where the people will govern. So let us move ahead and see how have they done this one. Louis XVI, as he lost everything because he had to follow the constitution, he had to give up his powers. He was just having limited show off powers only. So he was very anxious to get the power, go and get all the things back which was snatched from him by the people of France. So what he tried to negotiate secretly, means take help secretly from the king of neighboring countries such as king of Prussia as well as king of Austria also. So he tried to take the help from other neighboring countries so that he can get the power back to him, and he can rule as he was ruling well before. But let us see what happened next. The rulers of the neighboring countries were also very worried with the developments that was going on in France, because they were also scared that the people of their country will also revolt and remove them also from the throne, as well as they will also form the constitution in their country also. So they were quite worried, and they also wanted to teach the lesson to the people of France also, so that the others or the people of their country also cannot do the same thing with them. So they agreed upon to help Louis XVI. And what they planned to send troops, means soldiers. They planned to send troops or soldiers to France to abolish that constitution which was written or completed in the year 1791. So everything was ready. King of Prussia as well as Austria was ready to help. But before, as I told you, that they have only made the plans that they will send their soldiers to fight back. But before this could happen, before they could send the troops to France, the National Assembly, which was newly formed, they voted in April 1792 to declare war against Prussia as well as Austria. Why? Because they somehow came to know about Louis XVI and his secret negotiations. So what they decided, the people of France decided that they will take a war against Prussia and Austria. They are going to attack, and it was decided in April 1792 in the assembly. Thousands of volunteers from other places, from other regions of the France, from all the regions you can say, they all gathered. They started coming to the army and they started joining the army. And while they were on their way, they were singing a very famous patriotic song which was known as Marseillaise, and which was composed by Roger de Lisle. So they were singing this song, and they were also coming from the second largest city of France, that is also Marseille. So as they were coming from the city Marseille, which is also the second largest city of France, which we will have to do in map work also, in the later part of the chapter also. We will do it. Don't worry. So the people who were coming from Marseille, they were singing the song Marseillaise, and that was a patriotic song, and that song got its name because it started from that particular city, Marseille. However, that Marseillaise song, that patriotic song, is nowadays the national anthem of France also. So try to remember The name of the song, patriotic song, and the national anthem forms, which might be there in your question in MCQ form also. However, let us move ahead. The Revolutionary Wars means the people started attacking. They started attacked Prussia and Austria. So, as you know, war always let you down because a lot of expenditure is there. Even to defend yourself, you need a lot of weapons. If you want to attack, you need a lot of weapons, and those weapons might cost you a lot also. So people as well as the National Assembly were in economic difficulties in those days, as a lot of expenditure was going on in the war. So the economic condition of the country was not good enough. And you know also that the people, means especially the men of all the houses, were on wars. So who will take care of the household work or earning of the family members? Let us see what happened next. While the men were away fighting at the front, the men were busy. They were fighting against Prussia and Austria. Then women were left. You must pay a lot of salute to those women, because they were left to cope with the task of both two things, earning a living also and even looking after their families. So both the work was on the shoulders of those women who were at the house. They had to earn their living also, and they have to live after their families also, because their husbands were on war. They were busy on wars. So what would happen? The Constitution of 1791 gave political rights to the richer sections of society, as we discussed in our previous videos, that the only highest taxpayers were on the top level. They were in the legislature group. So they were making laws, even controlling the king and his ministers. So in one sentence, you can say that France was controlled by the richer members of the society. So what about those poor members, those who were not financially strong? They tried to form political clubs, or you can say parties. They tried to form different small parties, and they started discussing about the government policies, and even they were planning their actions so that they can also get the right to vote. As we know that out of 28 million of people in France, only 4 million got the right to vote. So what about those 24 millions of people? And out of those 24 million, 21 million were eligible to vote on the basis of their age. So those people, those 21 million people, and even that others 3 other million people who were below age, they all started to form government. They started to form political parties to discuss what government policies, and they also tried to form their own action also, that what they will do next to get the right to vote and to get equal right in the constitution or in the country. So a lot of political parties we started getting coming up in the country, that started emerging up. So one of the most famous political clubs, or you can say party among them, were the Jacobin clubs. What was the name of the famous one, the successful one? The name of the club was Jacobin, and that club got its name from the convent. Convent means what? You can say it might be a building where religious people used to live. So Jacobin Club got its name from that convent of Saint Jacob. Saint Jacob was a, you can say, residence for the people who were religious. In this case, they were the fathers of the church. So especially they got the name, Jacobin got the name from this particular convent of Saint Jacob in Paris. Women were also not left behind. They also tried and they opened up a lot of their women club, or you can say women parties also, so that they were also thinking that they must also get the right, equal right, or right to vote. Okay, among different parties, Jacobin Club was the most important one and the successful party, which got a lot of followers. The leader of the Jacobin Club was Mr. Maximilian Robespierre. Maximilian Robespierre was the head, or you can say the leader of this particular club. And the members of the Jacobin Club, they mainly belong to those lower section of the society, means less prosperous, less wealthy people. They were not very rich people, because if they were rich, then they would be in the legislature group. So this 24 million people, and among them, the members of the Jacobin Club were including in this Jacobin Club. So they were not very rich one. They were less prosperous people, and they included small shopkeepers, artisans, shoemakers, pastry cooks, watchmakers, printers, as well as servants who used to work at your house, and daily wage workers also. You can see these people were there in the Jacobin Club. They were the members. So you can say this is the party of the poor people. And what they decided to distribute, or you can say to identify themselves, or to make them separate from those people who were rich. So what they decided to wear, they decided to wear long strip trousers. You can say that the trouser will start from below the waist, and it will end up to the knee, not knee, that ankle. So they the people of the Jacobin Club, the members of the Jacobin Club, started wearing this long strip trousers, like the people who used to wear in dock workers. If you have seen dock workers, then they will be you can easily identify this type of people. Those who used to wear long strip trousers. And what Jacobins wanted, why they were wearing these long strip trousers? Because they wanted to set themselves apart, different from those fashionable sections of the society. Those who were rich people, they were wearing knee breeches, means below knee. They used to wear another part of the cloth below their knee. So that was the fashion of those noble people or the rich people at that time. So the members of the Jacobin Club, as they were poor, they were not having a lot of money. So they started to wear different things like long strip trousers, so that it can make them separate or apart from those. Jacobins, what they wanted to declare the end of the power. Means that was the end of, they wanted to end the power of Louis XVI, or end the power of that particular constitution 1791, which left behind those 24 million people. So they wanted to put an end to this particular people who were wearing knee breeches, means the noble people who were there in the National Assembly. They were against that. And the Jacobins later on came to be known as also sans-culottes, which means what? Those without knee breeches, means they were not wearing knee breeches. They were not wearing another extra part of cloth below their knee. So they started calling them, or people started calling them, sans clothes. You might see a lot of photos in your book also, in your history notebook, sorry, in your history book. Sans clothes men were also wearing one more thing, one thing that they were also wearing, that they were wearing the red cap on their head to symbolize liberty. Means they were saying that they are free, no one can make them bonded laborers like this. So they were wearing a red cap on their head, so that easily they can be easily identified that they are the members of the Jacobin Club. So this was the thing. Now it was a very harsh summer for Louis XVI. He is going to be punished over here. The Jacobins plan to revolt. The members of the Jacobin Club, those 24 million people there, they plan to revolt against the large number of Parisians who were rich people. They plan to revolt against them. And there were two reasons for their revolt. Number one, short supplies of food, and number two, high prices of food. So whenever there is a bad harvest due to many reasons, you can say, maybe less rainfall, there may be bad or failure of the crops. So in such case, the demand of the food items used to rise up, as well as the price of the food also will rise, because as you know, the more the demand, the price will be higher. So that was the thing. So on the morning of August 10, 1792, the people or the members of the Jacobin Club, they stormed one another place. That was the Palace of Tuileries. So do you remember they also stormed one more thing? They stormed the Bastille prison on 14 July 1789. And this after 3 years, 1792, they stormed the Palace of Tuileries. That was the beginning of the revolt. They massacred the king's guard. Means they killed the guards of Louis XVI and they held him captive. Means they kidnapped Louis XVI. They kidnapped and they put him as hostage for several hours. Means you can say these people controlled the National Assembly now. They were on the attack, they revolted, and you can say that only there were 4 million people who were having the right to vote. But these 24 million were huge. So when they attacked, when they revolted, everything was under their control. They massacred the king's guard and they kidnapped the King Louis XVI for several hours with them, and later on, the assembly decided to imprison the royal family, means put all the members of the royal family behind the bars. So assembly voted to imprison, and Louis XVI was given sentence to death. That is important over here. Louis XVI was given sentence to death by a court on the charge of what? On the charge of treason. Louis XVI was given death sentence because he betrayed the country. He acted against the country. That was the name of the charge. The name of the charge was treason. Treason means betraying something or betraying someone or betraying your country. Means धोखा देना, अपने country को धोखा देना. So Louis XVI over here was charged because of this treason. And what was the punishment given to him? Death sentence. And on 21st September 1792, the people or the members of the Jacobin Club abolished this monarchy system as they have given their sentence to the king. And they declared that France will now be called as Republic. India is called as Republic of India. So it was now for them was Republic of France. Means it was the France will have a government where the people will elect the government, including the head of the government. That was the end of the monarchy because Louis XVI was given death sentence. So on 21st January 1793, the monarchy in France was put to an end. And how it was put to an end? With the execution of Louis XVI, means the then king of the France was executed, means massacred, or you can say killed in front of the public, means the whole population was there to see the execution of Louis XVI, and it was held at a place known as Place de la Concorde. You must remember the name of the place so that you can get it. You might get it in your MCQs also. So he was executed, and the execution was very harsh because the head of the Louis XVI was removed from his body, means he was beheaded publicly, and which really you can't see if you are a light-hearted person. But even then, I will share the link of that clip in the description box so that if you dare, you can see that execution. Let us move ahead. So on 21st January 1793, Louis XVI was executed, and that marked the end of the monarchy in France with his execution. Later on, his queen, Marie Antoinette, also met with the same fate, means she was also executed, and both of them were executed with the help of a device known as guillotine device, uh, which I will show you photograph later on in the chapter. The device was known as guillotine, means it was having a blade, and which upon triggering can behead a person in a second. So both of them were executed, publicly. And then again, elections were held, and now all men of 21 years and above, whether they are rich or poor, got the right to vote. Now, after the execution of Louis XVI, all men of 21 years and above, they got the right to vote, whether they are rich or whether they are poor. And now they again changed the name of the assembly. Earlier, the name of the assembly was the Estate General. Later on, they changed it by the name of the National Assembly. And then again, they newly changed the name of the assembly as the Convention. However, the people are same over there. The rich people are again ruling. And now, Maximilian Robespierre, who was the head of the Jacobin government, he became the head of the government. Now we will see what Maximilian Robespierre did in his kingdom, and whatever he has done, that is termed in history as the reign of terror. That is, he ruled for around 2 years, but his ruling era, at the time when he ruled, that era was came to be termed as the reign of the terror. Terror means dar ka ya atank ka raj. That was going on, and that was from 1793 to 1794. During this period, what he did, he followed a policy of harsh control, means he was not leaving anyone unpunished. If someone is to be punished, then a harsh punishment was given, means no place of mercy. He followed a very harsh policy of control, and whatever he was just like doing like the dictator, you can say. Means whatever he ordered, everyone must follow that one, because he was the head of the government. That was the thing. You can see enemies of the republic, means whoever were the who were against the republic, that is the government formed by Maximilian Robespierre, whoever, if they are against, whether they are nobles or whether they are from the clergy group or whether they are from other political parties, and even if his own party members, if they do not agree with his methods, they were arrested. This was the reign of terror we are talking about. So whoever was going against Maximilian Robespierre, who was going against this republic government, they were arrested, they were imprisoned, and then they were charged or tried by a court. Means a case was a case is to get registered, and then the case goes on. So first of all, the man will be arrested, and the imprisonment was there, and then tried by the court. And if that person is found guilty, then they were guillotined, means that they were killed, they were publicly, guillotined in the area. That is mean that I want to say that they were beheaded. If someone will go again against this Maximilian Robespierre, they will have to meet the same fate. The guillotine, what is it? It is a device which consists of two poles and a blade. I can show you also, which consists of two poles and a blade with which a person is beheaded. Now, let me show you that. Now you can see this guillotine device over here, that there are blades over there on the top, and upon triggering from here, you can see, let me show you with my annotation. Yes, from here you can see that by triggering from here, this blade comes down over here, and you can see the person head is beheaded with the help of this particular device. That blade comes down like over here, within a second it comes down, and then you can see that the person can be beheaded within a few seconds. And this device was even invented by Dr. Guillotine. Let me show you that person also. He is the man who invented this guillotine device. Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotine was his full name. He was a French physician, as well as politician and Freemason, who proposed on 10th October 1789 that they should use the device to carry out death penalties in France, because he thought that it is less painful method of execution, because it can behead a person within few seconds, and that will not cause much pain to the person who is being killed or beheaded. That's why he invented this device, Dr. Joseph Ignace Guillotine. And then the name of the device was upon his name. The name of the device was the guillotine device. Then Robespierre government issued laws placing a maximum ceiling, that is upper limit on wages and prices. Now see the step of running the government. Robespierre government issued a maximum price on the wages as well as the prices of the food items. Means a person is working somewhere, then he will get some fixed amount of money everywhere in the country. Means no change in the rate of the wages, everywhere it should be same, because he wanted to show that he follows the policy of equality. That's why he was doing this one. He fixed the upper limit, means price cannot be more than that particular fixed price. Even the price of the wages, means the rate of the wages as well as the prices of the food articles. Even you can see meat and bread were rationed, where ration means that citizens of France were forced to consume a limited quantity of meat and bread. Means you can say 100-gram wheat per person is fixed, or one loaf of bread is fixed per day for per person. That is the limited quantity was fixed in this government, that people will eat limited, even meat as well as bread. Peasants, the farmers, the laborers were forced to transport their grain to the cities and sell it at prices fixed by the government. See, the farmers were also forced that they will have to sell their food items, their groceries, their grains in the cities only, and which is even at the prices fixed by the government only. They cannot have their own prices. Whatever the government will fix the price, they will have to pay, sell their articles at that price only. You can see the use of more expensive white flour was forbidden. Means they cannot use expensive flour to eat also. That was also banned. They cannot use the expensive wheat. Even all citizens were required to eat the pain de galette, that is equality bread. Everyone was forced that they will have to eat the same bread, a loaf bread made up of whole wheat. Now, that is not very, you can say, healthy, but everyone was forced that they will have to eat the same bread, that is known as equality bread. Next on, let us see what he did next in his reign of terror. Equality was also required in the practice through forms of speech and address also. See, he wanted that people should speak and people should address each one of them with the same one, means equal treatment, equal address, equal type of a speech. So what he instructed his subjects, means his people, that instead of saying monsieur means sir and madam means madam, so instead of saying sir and madam, everyone will say that everyone is citizen. Everyone will henceforth will be called as citoyen, citoyen, that is in French language, and citoyen means that sir and madam will be known as now as citizen. Means now no one will be called by the name of sir and madam. Means everyone will have to be called by the name, by the same name, that is citizen. So that is also equality according to him. Next, churches were shut down. He shut down all the churches, see, and the buildings of the church were converted into barracks or offices for the government. So people now getting hurt, because he is targeting their religious aspects of the people. Now, what is the reaction? The reaction was sudden, because he banned or shut down all the churches. He forced them to eat limited quantity of food. Even he forced them to eat the same bread. Everyone, rich or poor, everyone will eat same bread. So there must be a reaction by the citizens, and that is the outcome. Let us see what happened. Robespierre was following his policies so firmly that even his supporters began to demand what? Moderation. Means even his supporters were asking the reason of his actions. But what he did, whatever, whoever will ask him anything, any question, they will be arrested, imprisoned, and then tried by the court, and later on executed publicly. So he was very firm in his policies. Even his supporters were asking him the reason. Later on, finally, he was also convicted. He was also found guilty by the court in July 1794. So his reign of terror ended there in July 1794. And he was arrested. And on the next day, he was also sent to the same place, that is the guillotine. Means he was also guillotine, means his head also, he was also beheaded, and he was also massacred, or you can say executed later on in July 1794. So that was the reign of terror that was done by the Maximilian Robespierre government, and that was the end of the Jacobins government also. So here are a few questions which you can use it to make your notes also, which is very helpful for your examination point of view also. So now we will move ahead with the reign of terror in our next tutorial. For the time being, stay at home and be safe. Like the video and share it also with your friends.